Welcome. Welcome to our annual Volunteer Recognition Awards. My name is Mara Bellaby. I'm the executive editor of Florida Today, and we're really happy to have you here tonight with us. This is a really special one. Florida Today's former publisher, Mike Coleman, started the VRAs, that's what we affectionately call them, back in 1992. He wanted to find a way to recognize all the good work being done in Brevard. Sadly, Mike passed away earlier this year, but the tradition he set in motion has continued for more than 3 decades. And every year we come together to recognize the people, the organizations, and the businesses that make the Space Coast such a great place to live. And it's a testament to this community that we all call home that the well hasn't run dry yet. Every year we find a new people in our community to recognize. And every year I think we all come away inspired by all that you do. This year, in recognition of what Mike Coleman started, we've renamed the Citizen of the Year Award to the Michael J. Coleman Citizen of the Year. It's fitting that this award, which recognizes years of community service, carries his name, although it's true that Mike's spirit lives, yes. And Mike's spirit, though, lives in all the finalists and all the awards that we're honoring tonight. I'd like to take this time just to recognize Mike's son, Mark, who is here tonight with us to honor his father's work. I'd also like to thank our sponsors, without whom tonight would not be possible. First, the presenting sponsor, Parish Medical Center. The selfie sponsor, Health First. And our supporting sponsors, Eastern Florida State College, Southeast Petro, Community Credit Union, Cars Petro, Carousel Florist, and Gary Yeoman's Ford Palm Bay. Thank you to all of you. And now please welcome Parish Medical Center's President and CEO, George Mkhitaryan.
Good evening. It's great to see many of you. It's a who's who of volunteers in Brevard County here tonight. So great to see many of you who, unfortunately, I have not seen for quite a while. Just a few opening remarks, if you indulge me for a minute or two. The reason we're sponsors tonight is because our deep belief, faith, and love in the army of volunteers that make this county go. We all know many of them, but we don't know all of them. And it's the hard work of the people behind the scenes that make many organizations, our school systems, our nonprofits move and groove and do the things that this community needs to thrive. A quote, "What a man does for himself dies with him. What a man does for his community lives long after he's gone." It's a quote from Teddy Roosevelt, our 26th president of the United States. In this room and in our county, women and men whose names may not be widely known, whose deeds and achievements aren't the subject of daily comment and will not be recognized here tonight, are nonetheless volunteering in ways large and small, impacting life here today and far into the future. I thank and commend Florida Today for this VRA program, the individuals and organizations, businesses, and our collective presence honor this community, honor our families, and honor each and every one of you. This is an incredible program, and we're greatly proud to be associated with it. At Parish Healthcare, we see daily examples of selfless volunteerism among our hundreds of volunteers who do incredibly important work. As I thought about what to say tonight, I considered these volunteers, who we honor and recognize on a very regular basis. And I thought about how difficult it would be for us without them, without volunteers and without you. I then thought of all volunteers wherever they are, in our communities, in our state, and in our nation. They donate their time and their abilities, and probably 99.9% of them will never be known to us. So I salute all the volunteers tonight, the organizations, the businesses, the individuals. I know what it feels like to sit there, and it's nerve-wracking. In salute to tonight's honorees and to all volunteers everywhere, I offer two other quotes. The first is an unknown author, and if someone does know who the author is, Dr. Simpson probably might. I'd appreciate the name. The quote goes, "Those who can do more, volunteer." The second quote, and my favorite, is from the great tennis player Arthur Ashe. I chose it because it encourages volunteerism and speaks to the heart of a decision volunteers have already made. Start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can. Thank you, volunteers, for starting, using, and doing. Congratulations for your nominations, and thank you for being here tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Eastern Florida State College's Chief Learning Officer, Dr. Phil Simpson.
Well, good evening, everyone. It is my privilege to officially welcome you to Eastern Florida College's Cocoa campus on behalf of our president, Dr. Jim Ritchie. We're honored to be hosting this year's Volunteer Recognition Awards and pleased to continue this special, long-standing relationship with our friends at Florida today. On behalf of all of us here at the college, I'd like to congratulate tonight's finalists and wish you each the best of luck. And with that, I'll turn it back over to Mara. Thank you.
All right, now for the fun part. I get to hand things over to my colleague, engagement editor John Torres, who will lead us through the celebration of volunteerism. Thank you all.
That was kind of weak. Come on. Really? Quick selfie with everybody. Hold on. Okay, thanks. Hey, everybody, and good evening. It's so great to see everybody here. I had to put Michael Cador in the front seat, in the front row, because I know he likes to sneak out, during the show. Yeah, he didn't want me to say that, but yeah, yeah. Hosting the VRAs every year is something that I honestly look forward to. That's not just, I'm not saying it because my boss is over there sitting next to my wife. It's the one night of the year that kind of brings me back into balance. If anybody knows anything about what I write about, it's usually a lot of bad things. In 2025 alone, I wrote about a child shot and killed in Melbourne. I witnessed and wrote about an execution of a man who did unspeakable things. I also wrote about a certain Palm Bay City councilman who has been saying some troubling things, which I won't repeat here tonight. That's the kind of stuff I have to deal with on a daily basis, so my view of humanity is sometimes in need of that pick-me-up. When vodka doesn't, do it. But that's what tonight provides. Tonight, you guys, all the volunteers, the sponsors, Eastern Florida, the people that make this night happen, restore my belief in humanity. And so I get to meet and learn about the angels that we have right here in Brevard. Tonight, we're here to acknowledge the tireless people who do incredible work for our community and who bring my life back into balance. Can I get a big round of applause for the sponsors, volunteers, Eastern Florida, everybody, please? And what adds to this night, we usually do it a week earlier, but this is closer to the holidays, which I love. We're so close to Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, and all the joy the holidays bring us. Speaking of Christmas, my wife asked me for a pen this year for Christmas that can write underwater. I said, I hope it can write other words as well. Aren't you glad I skipped the corny joke part of my segment this year? Speaking of my wife, I actually haven't spoken to her in years. I didn't want to interrupt her. But just joshing. She's actually here tonight, and she's doing an incredible job as our mental health writer at Florida Today. Thanks, Jennifer. 2025. Wow. I mean, when I was growing up, I thought the year 2000 seemed way out in the distance, but 2025 is almost over. And what a year for news it's been. We saw the election of the first American Pope. We saw the return of 2 astronauts who were not stranded in space, even though their 8-day mission lasted 10 months. Don't say stranded. We saw our country attack nuclear facilities in Iran and suspected drug boats in the Caribbean. Here on the Space Coast, we're lucky again to escape the hurricane season without a problem. And we've also seen so many launches that I actually start to worry when my windows at home are not rattling. I was lucky enough to cover the release of a man I had written about for many, many years, Jeff Abramowski, who spent 23 years in prison for a crime that he did not commit. We also got a Trader Joe's, which, people seem really excited about it. So that's awesome. But back here, but back to why we're all here tonight. And certainly it's not here for my jokes. But tonight we honor the people, the organizations, the businesses who were just doing good without any expectation of recognition or award. That's true. I call all the finalists, and many times they don't want to be recognized. They say, "Can you give it to somebody else? I don't want to be known." So I mean, it's amazing. I want credit all the time. Okay? I want the credit. So they're doing good because they themselves are inherently good, and they want to see their community where they live flourish. Tonight, we're going to honor those who work so tirelessly in 2025 to help ease the burden on the poor and hungry, who work with our young students to ensure that they're learning what they need. But that's not all. Here tonight, we have volunteers who work to make sure that future generations of sea turtles thrive. Another who gives rousing patriotic speeches, even though he was born elsewhere. And businesses who help feed students who need it the most, who sponsor youth sports teams, and who tend to the homeless population here in Brevard County. These are the people and organizations and businesses who truly put our community first. They are the brightest stars in Brevard and shine as true examples as well. And even though it brings my life into balance, I always get a little jealous that I'm not one of them. So, on that note, to introduce the finalists, a quick housekeeping note. If you're a finalist and you're not sitting in the seat that is at the bottom left corner of your tag, you're going to have to forfeit your award. So, and there may be worse punishments ahead. But we'd also like anybody who is called up to the stage, please come up that stairway and exit down this one, please. And when you pose for photos, we're going to do it here. Thank you. So on that note, I'd like to introduce the finalists of the 2025 Volunteer of the Year Award. Let me start that again. To introduce the finalists of the 2025 Volunteer of the Year, I'd like to bring to the stage last year's Volunteer of the Year Award winner, a woman whose work with Cape Canaveral Ladies honors veterans and ensures that someone is present at every veteran internment at Cape Canaveral National Cemetery. Please put your hands together for the 2024 Volunteer of the Year, LaRue Fleming. Yeah. Walk-up music. I want the Game of Thrones. Come on.
Hello. I was going to say hi, y'all, but I'm in this company here, and I better not. This is such an exciting category because it recognizes regular, everyday people who give of their own time and energy to boost others without any compensation and without seeking recognition. Tonight, we're going to give to them the recognition they deserve. Our first finalist is known throughout Merritt Island simply by his nickname, Buster. Kevin Buster Beal rides his bicycle 5 miles from his family home to Merritt Island High School about every day, even though he graduated in 2003. Why? Well, he goes directly to the football field house where he fills water bottles and coolers before every practice. That's not all. Buster stays for the practice, hyping the team, bringing the players water, and warming them up by throwing around the football. After the team is done practicing, he does all the laundry, a task that can take hours. He even does this on weekends. For Buster, giving back to his old school is a passion, not a chore. For his efforts, Buster gets the honor of running onto the field before every home game, waving the Mustang flag. He is the epitome of team spirit. Thank you, Buster. Bernard Bryan has volunteered in numerous education-related capacities over the years. As South Brevard's NAACP Education Chair, he attends every school board meeting, gathering data with a focus on reading and math scores. Then he collaborates with the district, working to improve student achievement for marginalized students. He mentors students at University Park Elementary and Stone Magnet Middle Schools and volunteers on the school advisory councils at Stone, University Park, DeLaura Middle, and Palm Bay High. That's not all. For nearly a decade, he's run a program offering science classes to marginalized kids of all ages. His goal, work with other volunteers to introduce kids to robotics, Python coding, flying drones, and other science-related activities in the hopes that they take an interest in STEM. He's also been involved with the Daily Bread. Thank you, Bernard. Kathy Frank does so much volunteering that there's no such thing as typical day for her. From cooking meals for the homeless at First Church, Melbourne, to distributing meals on the weekends to children in need at Sea Park Elementary with the Children's Hunger Project, Kathy works tirelessly. Incredibly, the 76-year-old somehow also finds time to assist international teachers who have moved to Brevard from overseas, helping them find apartments, furniture, and settle in so they can teach our kids. For Kathy, it's all about the joy she can provide and the joy she receives through volunteering. Thank you, Kathy. I give you this year's finalist for Volunteer of the Year.
You know, I was a stutterer when I was a boy, and somebody was always encouraging me that you can do it. And that's what our kids need to hear, that you can do it with the right support. So volunteers, we need you.
That when you volunteer, you receive much more than you give. Your heart's opened and you see what you can do in your little part of the world.
And what are you doing?
Running with the flag, and when I'm leading them to our sidelines.
And how do you feel when you do that?
Fun.
Yeah.
Ready to go at it.
What kind of reaction do you usually, I guess maybe a better question is, do you feel like that really gets the team pumped up?
It gets them pumped up.
Yeah.
And basically what my wife and I decided to do is to do what we can to help kids that need help the most. We work with marginalized communities. Our goal is to see every child have the same opportunity to do well, especially in school. Doing a science fair, we noticed the crowd, the students that were participating were not a diverse crowd. So my wife and I wanted to do what we can to see all students with the same opportunity. So we did a beta test. We started our own science fair, and that went off very, very well. And then we decided to improve the program by adding different classes, such as drone discoveries, such as Lego robotics, Python coding, to really give the children an opportunity to grow. And one of the things that we have learned, if children are not exposed, all children are not exposed to the science, in the sciences, they probably would not see themselves doing that particular job. So we wanted to expose our children and give them opportunities that they probably would never have dreamt about if they didn't see it in action as well as participating in our program. So one of the things that we've been challenged with is in Brevard County, we noticed that a lot of our kids in the marginalized area are not reading on level and are not on math level. So we wanted to encourage them with that, as well as get them into the science, engineering, technology, and math career learning courses while they're young. And that's kind of what we do. You have to love children. If you want to volunteer, you have to love children. And you should have a heart for all children to do well. And this is kind of what we do. Even the kids that live on the other side of the tracks volunteer to help those children. Because I remember growing up, I was a stutterer when I was a boy, and somebody was always encouraging me that you can do it. And that's what our kids need to hear, that you can do it with the right support. So volunteers, we need you.
One way I've really been called is to a school who has no community or business assistance. They have no parent-teacher organization to help them out, and that's University Park Elementary. The children who go there, many of them come from really challenging homes. So each week, the Children's Hunger Project delivers food packets for our team to pass out to the students who are going to need food assistance over the weekend. That's about half the student body. The teachers there also need encouragement and appreciation. They have a challenging job. This year, we have international teachers from Jamaica and from the Philippines. They came only with what they had in their suitcase. When I went to visit two of them that are sharing an apartment and they're going with their families, they only each had a blow-up bed. That was it. They were sitting on the floor to eat. They had nothing. So we saw a need there. We started getting donations for furniture and anything else they would need in their apartment. They have no transportation but Uber, so they need rides. And a couple have been fortunate enough to have to go to the Orlando airport to pick up a spouse and or children that they haven't seen for 5 months. One thing that we have done with the church and the school, we partnered to start an incentive program for the children to become better students and better citizens. And with that, they used to earn points, bring them to get an item. They got 1 item. After COVID, we changed that to only 2 visits, but they got 3 items. And this is what happened. These are 2 examples. One little boy came, and with all his points, he picked out a pink bike. It was for his cousin. Another boy, big 5th grade boy, came with some interesting items, and when I said cool, he lit up and he said, the perfume's for my mom, the bubble wand's for my little brother, and my sister's gonna love this purse. That's how our generosity and sharing our love with these students open them up to understand and experience the joy of giving, sharing, and helping others. And that's why we volunteer, because through us, we can change the world. For volunteering, no matter what your age, whether you're a child or you're an adult, that when you volunteer, you receive much more than you give. Your heart's opened and you see what you can do in your little part of the world.
Kevin Beal. I'm at Maryland High School. I do football, soccer, basketball, and baseball.
And what do you do here?
I have just whatever. I had to fill up waters and do all that stuff during the games. And then I set up the fields and do laundry and do the water and everything.
Why do you do it?
I like having fun with it, and I like doing what I like to do.
And what do the guys think of you?
They all like me. I'm friends with them and everything.
And what's the coach think with all the help?
He likes it because he knows I can get it done.
What's your favorite part of the whole job?
My job? I do game day videos every week, every Friday night. And I do all that and set it all up and then we put it all together.
Well, tell me, do you have any favorite memories? And I know you've been doing this for years.
I've done, in 2014, I just won my first state title in soccer.
Tell me a little bit about what that felt like.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
I ran across the field and slid across the grasses and did it that way.
And what did that feel like? Were there a lot of people around cheering?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
A lot.
Do you know off the top of your head how many championships you've been to?
Quite a bit.
Yeah.
Sometimes I come in here and there'll be 3 hours of loads of laundry, and I have to do all the practice stuff and all the game stuff, and I roll it all up and put it all away and do all that.
Do you ever get tired of it, or?
No, I put music on and I have music on in there, and so I put the music on in there and have fun with it. So the cheerleaders put a band up in the front with the horse on the front. Then I sit in the front with my flag already down, and then I wait for the boys. I look behind me and see when the boys are coming, and then that's when I take off.
And what are you doing?
Running with the flag, and when I'm leading them to our sidelines.
And how do you feel when you do that?
Fun.
Yeah.
Ready to go at it.
What kind of reaction do you usually, I guess maybe a better question is, do you feel like that really gets the team pumped up?
It gets them pumped up.
Yeah. Does it get the crowd pumped up?
Yes.
Buster brings energy, you know what I'm saying? He does a lot more than just give out footballs on Friday. He washes our clothes. There's a whole bunch of stuff he does, you know what I'm saying? All right, gotta go.
Before announcing the winner, would all our finalists please stand and be recognized? I'm waiting for an envelope, but it doesn't say I get one of those, so no, that's okay, I got it. This year's winner once received a piece of advice they live by every day. Try and wear yourself out, doing work for others while you can. Please join me in congratulating Bernard Bryan as the 2025 Volunteer of the Year.
Would you like to say something, Bernard? Congratulations.
Thank you. Wow. First of all, I'd like to thank God. As you heard in my video, when I grew up as a boy, I was a stutterer. And being a stutterer, you needed a lot of support. So, coming from a family of poverty, I see a lot of children that need his help. So I'd like to thank my wife, who is really encouraging to me, but I love to see all children do well. And, when I told my wife, I'm not going to sit out, I'm going to wear out. And I just love children, no matter what their background is. We just love to see the smiles on their face. And I'll leave this last thing with you. I got a call from a parent. She said, Mr. Bryant, my child needs help with their science project. And I went and brought the child to my home and fed her, and she didn't have a clue what a science project was. But I got a call at 6:30 this morning and said, thank you for helping me with my science project. So that's what drives me, when a child can say thank you and just appreciate the support they can give. So God bless you. Thank you. Thank you, Florida, today.
All righty. Up next is our Organization of the Year. But first, I'd like to acknowledge some of the great work that photographer Malcolm Denmark, who's here, and producer Rob Landers do every year in creating these videos for us tonight. So how about a big round of applause for those guys? Woo! Yeah. Now, the Organization of the Year, last year the award went to Promise in Brevard, which works tirelessly to provide affordable, independent housing and meaningful employment opportunities for some of the most vulnerable in our community. Here to make the presentation for Organization of the Year is last year's winner, Promise's CEO and President Jeff Keel. And you get that snazzy walk-up music, Jeff. It's like the Carpenters or something, right? Good seeing you, buddy.
John, I can't dance like you. Sorry. Welcome. First of all, I'd like to acknowledge and thank Florida today for honoring Michael Coleman by naming the Citizen of the Year award for him. Mike was a friend and one of the most caring and kindest people I've ever known, so thank you for that. Moving on. There's nothing as inspiring as the power of community. These three wonderful organizations show that off, whether they are helping sea turtles survive, a task much more difficult than it sounds, feeding the homeless, or working to empower senior citizens. Tonight's finalists understand the importance of bringing people together to achieve wonderful things. Up first is an organization working to educate the public about how to protect threatened and endangered sea turtles and help sick and injured sea turtles on area beaches, especially during nesting season. Formed in 1984, the Sea Turtle Preservation Society plays a crucial role in protecting populations of endangered and threatened sea turtles in Brevard County, which has among the highest density of sea turtles in the entire world. They're on the front lines to witness early warning signs when things go wrong with nesting. Next is Shepherd Center. The goal of the Shepherd Center, Beachside, is to put the message of Psalm 23 into action. Their all-volunteer staff is dedicated to empowering senior citizens in the area to celebrate life in a positive and educational way. Their adventures and learning programs help shape a new image of aging or older adults, encouraging members to be creative and productive in their later years. Their numerous classes include ukulele classes, book club, local history, and more. It was 13 years ago that Pastor Curtis Wright's wife, Tracy, turned to him and stated her new life mission. She was going to feed the homeless. At first, he resisted, finding himself too busy at his job at Harris Corporation, now L3 Harris, but his wife persisted, and the homeless population in Titusville is better off for it. Now, the Underbridge Ministry provides meals to the homeless as well as assist them with health services. They also provide help for the drug addicted. They have a core team that relies on about 200 volunteers and operate under the umbrella of the nonprofit Hope for North Brevard.
Sea turtles have been around for millions of years. And I tell that to the public when they say, well, how important are they? They've been taking care of our beaches for millions of years.
It's very satisfying seeing the seniors meet at the first of the term on Thursday morning. It's like old school reunion.
To see someone who has zero hope to find hope in Jesus, that's when we know we're doing our job.
We're an all-volunteer group, and we have over 1,000 current members that are paid memberships, and we have 400 active members, people who are actively participating in one of our programs. And some of the programs that we do are stranding and salvage. That's going out on the beach, finding a sick turtle or a dead turtle and taking care of it, transporting it to a facility if necessary. We have educational night walks, and they take the public out, show them how a sea turtle nests, and they get to see the real thing during the summer, only 2 months in the summer. We also have a research portion where they do nest surveys every morning during the summer and early fall, looking at the nest, deciding which species it was, and going back several weeks later to find out if it hatched and how many came out of the nest. Then we also have educational programs throughout the year, everything from senior groups, young people groups. We go out to the schools. We have Rotaries, any kind of group that wants to hear us talk about sea turtles, we'll go out and talk to them. Then we also have our 5K every year, which is our biggest fundraiser. We've been doing it for 15 years now, and hopefully you'll get to see one of our shirts out there in the public. But we've had over 2,400 runners in 1 year. Sea turtles have been around for millions of years, and I tell that to the public when they say, well, how important are they? They've been taking care of our beaches for millions of years. They have been here when we haven't, so we need to learn how to live with them, not in opposition to them. They're not warm and fuzzy, but they are good creatures.
A lot of people just, they're fledgling and lost, and when they retire, they don't know what they want to do next. Shepherd Center offers that avenue of what to do. It started in 2003 when my predecessor, Larry Boudry, made the determination that men and women beyond their retirement years needed some activities to do. So he developed a course structure, about 5 or 6 classes of general interest, such as languages, lecture, exercise, and he had it at Ascension Lutheran Church in Indian Harbor Beach. Over time, that grew into what it is today. 22 years later, it's about 30 classes over 2 locations. We started out charging $20 per person to cover administrative expenses, books, luncheon each quarter, and in 22 years, we still charge $20, which is unbelievable. What's even more unbelievable, no one takes a dime in this organization. There's about 50 volunteers. We have 7 Board of Trustee members that give me leadership and guidance. We also have about 30 to 35 teachers that volunteer their time. These teachers are prior professionals, business leaders, and retired teachers that give their time to teaching seniors for lifelong learning. It's very satisfying seeing the seniors meet at the first of the term on Thursday morning. It's like old school reunion. They've been off all summer and they've made lifelong friends in the prior terms, and now they've reunited on the first day of class. We have a lot of single seniors that have lost a spouse, and this has been a rope that has saved their lives. When they cross that threshold, they have done a big thing in trying to reunite with other people after losing someone.
Under the Bridge was started by my wife. Actually, the idea came up about 12 years ago when she said, we're going to feed the homeless. I said, no, we're not. And here we are 10 years later. We've been feeding homeless here in Titusville, which it started out as a homeless ministry, but we feed anybody who might be in need. We're looking for those most in need in the community. So we do quite a few things. Obviously, we provide a meal every single Monday and Friday. On Fridays, we tend to meet people a little bit more where they are. On Mondays, we have it's our church service. But we provide food, we provide resources, we provide bus passes. We partner with Space Coast Health Services to make sure they get health care. And we work to get them into different organizations to where they might be able to get off the streets in the future. In North Brevard, unfortunately, we're the redheaded stepchild of Brevard County. There's a lot of money going towards homelessness, but most of it is central and south, all the way down past Palm Bay. Up here, no one knows about the homeless situation other than a few organizations. So why we're important is we're the ones standing up for those that have no voice.
What's the most touching thing about this?
You know, to see lives changed. We're here only because of Jesus. And when Jesus speaks to people and things happen, there's nothing greater. There's nothing greater. To see someone who has zero hope to find hope in Jesus, that's when we know we're doing our job.
Before announcing the winner, would our finalists all please stand and be recognized for their outstanding work? Tonight's winner has a simple yet difficult goal: to help sea turtles survive into the future. Their work has helped preserve one of the most special things about Brevard. The 2025 Organization of the Year is the Sea Turtle Preservation Society.
There you go.
Thank you. We have a fun group, a hard-working group, and the volunteers are great. We have a saying, it's all about the turtles. When things get rough and we have discussions, we just say, stop. It's all about the turtles. Usually, I'm limited to 10 minutes. But
We have some music that'll start playing.
oh, okay. No hooks, no hooks. So on behalf of the Sea Turtle Preservation Society, thank you to Florida Today and Florida Eastern State for this honor and recognition. Who are we? We're 40 years old next year. We're early risers and night owls, teachers and writers, citizen scientists, photographers, dreamers and planners. We don't even mind getting wet and sandy each year. We reach thousands of people with our message. We are 1,100 strong, helping sea turtles survive. STPS has had programs doing nest surveys, transports, stranding and salvage, fundraising, educational night walks, those are the fun ones. We attend events in the community, do beach cleanups. We have educational programming for community groups and schools. We talk turtle to anyone who'll listen. But we're not the only volunteer group here in Brevard County. Volunteers make up a huge labor force in our community. Thousands of hours each month are given freely to many organizations. In 2024, more than 11,500 hours, worth some $381,000, were given in the effort to save sea turtles, and that's only the hours that were logged. You volunteers come from all segments of our community. Thousands of hours are given freely to many organizations. I said it once. You volunteers come from all segments of our community: doctors, lawyers, educators, mechanics, engineers, fast food workers, and of course, many retired folks. You bring skills and knowledge to those organizations that you volunteer for. In his book, Saving Sea Turtles, researcher author James Spatilla commented on the value of volunteers. He was on a beach at night with a volunteer, and she mentioned that she could tell when the turtle hatchlings were going to leave the nest by smell. He just kind of looked at her. So she knelt down by a nest and told him that it was just going to be a matter of minutes before the turtles would leave. So he got down, and sure enough, there was a faint odor, and 15 minutes later, off went the hatchlings. So he wrote, "You learned some really good things from volunteers because they do not have any preconceived ideas about what the turtles are going to do. Sometimes too much knowledge closes off your imagination. Volunteers help to keep us open to new ideas and observations." So to all the volunteers out there in Brevard, keep up the great work, and thank you for all your support. And keep sending out your message.
The business of the year is next. So last year we did not have a business category, but I'm sure happy it's back. It's great to honor our local businesses, especially those that place value and importance on helping the local community, whether by sponsoring youth sports teams, helping families with school supplies, or providing free medical care to those who need it the most. To announce our finalists for 2025 Business of the Year, please help me welcome to the stage Jane Katona, the VP of Sales, Northeast Florida for Local IQ and USA Today. Thank you. She came up the wrong staircase, though.
No, I don't follow directions.
It's funny, I yelled at a bunch of people at another event because they did that. They came up on the wrong side. But anyway, good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with you tonight. The first Business of the Year finalist is being honored for their unwavering dedication to Brevard County's homeless community. Dr. John Rothwell and Island Direct Primary Care provides free health care to those in need. Dr. Rothwell donates between 4 and 6 hours weekly at Matthews Hope, organizing food drives, raising awareness, and helping the homeless access critical medical care, including cancer treatments. Next, we honor Launch Credit Union. In the last year, Launch Credit Union employees packed more than 4,000 food bags for the Children's Hunger Project, helping ensure local children have meals on the weekends when school is out. They also work tirelessly to host back-to-school drives for Brevard Schools Foundation, providing much-needed school supplies to students across the Space Coast. The one thing the 6 Long Doggers restaurants in Brevard County have in common, besides their great wings, is a commitment to community. They have partnered with Sisters Inspiring Sisters to collect school supplies for students in Cocoa, sponsored hundreds of students across the country through Brevard Soccer Academy, and supported the Space Coast Board Riders, among other endeavors. Here are your 2025 Business of the Year finalists.
Just brings me a tremendous amount of joy when you can reach out to someone and see it on their face of how grateful they are.
We believe it is essential for businesses to get involved because investing in the community creates a lasting impact.
If you're not investing in the community and the people around you, then those people aren't as well off as they can be. And by making them whole and trying to contribute to their endeavors, it comes back.
Island Direct Primary Care was founded on 2 pillars: God, family, and community. And then to be loving, encouraging, and empowering. The focus is how can we be servant leaders in our community? How can we be servant leaders in our work? How can we be servant leaders at our home? And I was at a Chamber of Commerce event, and I ran into Scott Blue, who is the CEO of Matthews Hope. And I said, "What do you do?" And then they told me what they did. And I said, "I want to help you. I want to bring my team and help provide health care to your guest." And so we've been helping Matthews Hope before they even opened. And so Matthews Hope is one of the organizations where we provide the medical care. We work with who we play for, and so we actually have their EKG machine here and make sure that kids who have abnormal EKGs get get follow-up as appropriate. And love the Children's Hunger Project, and so we sponsor enough kids to represent all the employees here. I mean, we've taken care of people who've had cancers at Matthews Hope who have no money, no Medicaid, no insurance, and they're working their way back, not only to being cancer-free, but they're working their way out of homelessness. You know, we're all human beings, and we all deserve to be loved. We all deserve to be heard. So there's a tremendous need for people to give of self when reaching out to the community.
Launch Credit Union has proudly served our community since 1963. From the very beginning, our mission has been rooted in the motto, people helping people. We're more than just a place to bank. We're helping individuals and families build brighter futures. Whether it's through financial education, community sponsorships, or volunteering side by side with local nonprofits, we're here to make a real difference in the lives of our neighbors. We actively support organizations such as Aging Matters, Second Harvest Food Bank, the Down Syndrome Association of Brevard, and Matthews Hope. Our team also teaches financial literacy in local schools and through organizations like the Boys and Girls Club, Girl Scouts, and the Early Learning Coalition. We love being out in the community at fundraising and awareness events, including the American Cancer Society's Making Strides Against Breast Cancer, the Turtle Crawl 5K, and the Back Brevard Heroes Appreciation event. It's all part of how we show up, serve, and make a meaningful difference in the communities we call home. We believe it is essential for businesses to get involved because investing in the community creates a lasting impact. It builds trust, strengthens relationships, and truly connects your organization to the people you serve. Getting involved doesn't have to be big or complicated. It starts with caring and showing up. When businesses lead with purpose, they not only help others succeed, but they also strengthen the very people who support them. At Launch Credit Union, that's been our commitment for over 60 years, and it's part of our DNA.
Hi, I'm John Burr with Long Doggers and Meg O'Malley's and Hemingway's Tavern, some of the unbelievable brands that have been built in Brevard County. And a top priority and a pillar of our business plan is to be as productive as we can with the community. On a daily basis, we try to give till it hurts by donating baskets to raffles, and we support schools inside of their endeavors to raise money for the athletic programs or for the just pencils and paper. We are sponsors inside of their annual planners in all these schools, and we fundraising nights inside of the restaurants, and we're in the football program. And I'm not even doing a service in this conversation of saying how much each one of these restaurants puts into their efforts for these programs. We cook breakfast in the morning for Mel High. We've been in satellite for their lacrosse teams. When there's an illness or a death, you know, we're trying to donate for, raise money for these different charities and benefits for these families that are in need. Currently, we're with Second Harvest, just doing a simple passive campaign to get money in for Thanksgiving. But I think all of that effort and all of these programs and all of the donations of all are gracious in that the people who do it are doing it because they love to do it, and it's felt by the people around them. It's felt here in Brevard County, and so the direct impact and the proudness that the staff members get to feel out of that is what drives them every day.
Before announcing our winner, if all of our finalists would please stand and be recognized for your outstanding work. The mission for tonight's winner is simply people helping people. Please put your hands together for the 2025 Business of the Year winner, Launch Credit Union.
Jay. I need one more. Yeah, he had the lens cap on. Oh, I'll get it right this time. Thank you, Denny. Great job there, Malcolm Denmark.
All right, so I was told we had 15 minutes.
Each.
On behalf of Launch Credit Union, our board of directors, is he still here? He's still here. He's part of our board. Our leadership team, and our more than 80,000 members, we are honored and truly humbled to accept this award. This recognition means so much because it reflects not only what we do as a financial institution, but who we strive to be as a community partner. For more than 60 years, Launch has lived by the philosophy of people helping people. This award reflects the compassion and commitment our employees bring to every member and every community we serve. Some of the people standing up here have dedicated many volunteer hours, and they love what they do both for work, but also out there in the community. We are deeply grateful for this honor. We accept it not as a culmination, but as a reminder of the responsibility we carry and of the work still ahead. Launch Credit Union will continue to show up to serve and to help build stronger, brighter communities for all. Thank you, and go beyond.
And now for the moment that we've all been waiting for. Wait, it's not my song and dance? Oh, jokes. The Michael J. Coleman Citizen of the Year Award. And it's a special one for me personally because Mike Coleman was the publisher at Florida Today when I started there in 2001. Yes, I was a child. He was a great leader and a terrific boss who knew full well that our mission of the paper was to serve our community. He was one of those rare people who really knew how to connect, and I was telling his son this earlier, that Mike knew everybody's names, but the names of your wife and your spouse and your kids and everything. And he wasn't one of those like phony people that had that knowledge. He was really genuine, and he was just a great guy. And it was Mike himself, as you heard earlier, who started the Florida Today Volunteer Recognition Awards in 1992 as a way of honoring those who work to make the Space Coast better. Ironically enough, the last time I saw Mike was right here last year at these awards. He passed away in March at the age of 81. So to bestow the 2025 Michael J. Coleman Citizen of the Year Award, please welcome Marlon Buggs. Marlon is a sergeant with the Brevard County Sheriff's Office and serves on the Allegiance for Neighborhood Restoration Board. He has spent most of his career volunteering to help provide crime prevention activities and information for our youth. Marlon will present this on behalf of his mother and 2024 winner, Dolores McLaughlin, who could not be here this evening. We ask you to please keep her in her prayers. Please help me welcome Marlon Buggs. Usually when I see Marlon coming, I run because, he's a cop.
Well, thank you. I was happy when my mom volunteered me to be here tonight on her behalf. She really did want to be here, but we're trying to get her back out here so she can do what she does for the kids. So tonight's finalists are people who help make the Space Coast even more wonderful than it is already. All three finalists know that in order to lead, you must first serve. Our first finalist, Robert Jordan, has held numerous public positions here in Brevard County over the years, and in 2002, he became the first black person elected to the Brevard County School Board. That experience inspired him to help open Vieira Charter School as its president and chairman. Aside from education, Jordan considers economic development and healthcare to be among his passion projects, along with advocating for mental health. He is chairman of the board of Parish Medical Center. Our next finalist, Judge A.B. Majid. Retired Judge A.B. Majid has often been referred to as the ultimate American success story. An immigrant from the country of Guyana, Majid was the first person of color and the first Muslim elected to countywide office in Brevard County. He went on to serve as a county judge for 27 years, where he has volunteered to speak with prospective jurors, jury pools, often with a rousing patriotic tone, extolling the virtues of our nation. He is involved with numerous charitable endeavors and is asked regularly to speak publicly at patriotic events. And last finalist would be Monica Shaw. Monica Shaw has served on numerous boards throughout the years, including the Children's Home Society, Junior Achievement, and Health First Foundation. Shaw said she feels a responsibility to pay forward the blessings she has received, and that's why she makes community service a priority, trying to give her time, talent, and treasure. Shaw is a powerhouse fundraiser, benefiting every charity she is connected to. I give you tonight's 2025 Michael J. Coleman Citizen of the Year finalist.
The philosopher says that the sun rises every day, but it never asks the day for thanks. It never asks the day for gratitude, yet look how it sparkles without expecting anything in return. And I am motivated by that.
We might not all have, money to give back, but I think we all have time. And one-to-one, I think we truly can impact and touch one another's lives. And I'm sure someone along the way has impacted your life, so why not pay it forward? I think the world would be a better place if we just one-to-one helped one another.
I get a lot of gratitude just knowing that I'm helping someone along this journey that we call life.
I came to America on a student visa. I came with 2 empty pockets. America is very kind to me. She opened her arms to me and welcomed the student, and she allowed me to dream dreams beyond my loftiest aspirations. And then she showed me how to accomplish these dreams. Throughout my life in America, I have been the recipient of kindness and generosity of the American people. And so it's easy for me to give back kindness and generosity, to volunteer and do things for America. Every day I see the Rotary Club getting together for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and they ask a simple question: what can we do for others? And that's the story of my life. I want to do for others. I remember in the movie The Lion King, there's a verse in the famous song that says, it goes like this: it's the circle of life, it's the wheel of fortune. Some say, eat or be eaten. Some say, live and let live. But all are agreed, as you join life's stampede, you should not take more than you give. And that's how I try to live my life. Without wanting to flatter myself, I think that I'm singular in Brevard County, a person who builds bridges with every ethnic and religious group you can think about. One, I was captain of the cricket team here in Brevard County, which is purely a West Indian, Jamaican, Guyana, Trinidadian community. I'm also active in the bar of Brevard County and the judiciary of the Brevard County. So one Friday night or Saturday night, I'll be having dinner at the yacht club, and Sunday I'll be eating jerk chicken in the grass with my cricket team. That's how broad my spectrum is. I'm active in the Indian community. I'm active in the Hispanic community with my friend Javier Molinares. I'm active in the black community. I'm a guest speaker at the NAACP several times. In fact, I'll be a guest speaker next year at the NAACP. I'm active in political activities. I work with my congressman, who's a good friend of mine. I work with throughout this community. I've crossed all the racial barriers and religious barriers. You need to volunteer because Americans are one of the kindest, most generous people in the world. Like I said before, Rotarians all over the world gather for breakfast, lunch, and dinner and ask a simple question: what can we do for others? Service above self. At Christmas time, at Thanksgiving time, millions and millions of people gather and they just give. Give without asking what's in it for me.
I mean, honestly, to me, I've been blessed. I started volunteering back in 7th grade. We had a partnership with the School for Special Needs, and that's where my passion for giving back stemmed from. You know, having being able to see a difference you make in someone's life, but for me then, going in 2-3 times a week and then going, how long do you have time to spend with me? Like, it brightened my day. I felt like I got more out of it than they did, but just allowing people to have opportunities that otherwise wouldn't be there is the biggest reason. And Brevard County's blessed us and my family, so I feel like it's my right or my duty to pay it back. Currently, I'm just on the Holy Trinity Parents Association board and Health First. I just recently stepped off the Junior Achievement board just to focus more time on my daughter and potentially creating my own nonprofit to give lessons to children who may not be able to afford them for swim lessons. I think it's one of the main reasons that parents lose their children at a young age. Sadly, my parents lost a child that way, so I feel like it'd honor his legacy, and something with us having water everywhere would be something that would be tremendous. I definitely, you know, I'm at events all the time, you know, whether I'm serve on the board or not, you know, with New Life Mission, with Eckerd Connect, with We Ventures, with FIT, the Scott Center for Autism. I also like to bring together people, right, when there's opportunities to volunteer, and reach out to my friends in different networks of people. That way they can get into the mission. It's not always about the dollar that they can bring in, but the time and talent that they can give. And that's a way in the door for them to learn about the organization.
I do what I do because I love people. I, for some reason, have really grown into understanding that most people, if they're going to be successful in life, they need other people to help them. I needed other people to help me as I was growing up in my career and also in life. I find people are jewels. Sometimes they disappoint, but you can't stop serving other people just because of some of the actions that they have. I believe that everyone should always be able to be as good as they can be, but they need help doing that. And if people would let me help them, then I certainly want to do it. It kind of shocked me when I started enumerating all the things that I have done in the community, from the YMCA to healthcare, of course, to education. I have found that this is really my calling, to just serve other people, especially little kids. Education, of course, is very important, but of course, children and adults need to be very healthy. And so I found myself really focused on ensuring that the healthcare needs of the community is taken care of, and that's not only physical but also mental health care with my support of Circles of Care. And also I have become an ambassador for the Children's Advocacy Committee of Brevard County. I would tell other people that if you want joy in your life, give up your time. Yes, you need to give up your funds because there's always a need for funding, but give up your time, serve other people. You get such gratification knowing that you are helping your fellow man, knowing that that person's life is going to be better because you are helping them along this life journey.
Before announcing the winner, would all our finalists please stand and be recognized? Tonight's winner has what it takes: energy, passion, and commitment to community, not to mention the penchant for wearing the stars and stripes on his clothing. So please welcome to the stage your 2025 Michael J. Coleman Citizen of the Year, Judge A.B. Majid. She's doing good.
Thank you. That makes me cry. How do you spell American? A-M-E-R-I-can. That's how you spell American, I can. It's been a long journey for me from a very tiny village in Guyana, South America, to this auspicious event tonight. But nothing can surpass the generosity and kindness, not of me and my family, but of the American people. It was just recently that a president of ours spoke of a kinder, gentler nation. And it wasn't so long ago that a president of ours spoke of a shining beacon on a hill. That's the America I know. Parish Hospital and Health First are not money-making machines. These hospitals give hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars in free medical care. And every day in Brevard County, there are citizens all over this county who give up their time, who give up their energy, who give up their resources, not expecting anything in return. That is the America I know. That is the American spirit, which I have come to experience day after day after day. I want to thank my wife and my children for supporting me, because many breakfast time, many lunchtime, and many dinner times, I've not been at the table to join them because I'm elsewhere doing God's work. I want to thank this great country that welcomed me as a 22-year-old on a student visa and caused me to experience my loftiest aspirations, things I could not dream of. And most of all, I want to thank my mother and father, who did not have the benefit of formal education, but that's not to say they were uneducated. I want to tell you that if my mother was Secretary of the Treasury, America will have a balanced budget. May God bless you all. Thank you for this kindness of recognizing me tonight. I did not expect this. I could not dream of such a night like this. I want to thank each and every one of you who's responsible for this. And most of all, I want to thank America for generosity and kindness. God bless you all, and happy holidays to you.
A judge and a cop on stage at me. Ooh, yikes. All right. So, before we leave here tonight, just a few housekeeping things. After everything is done, we'd like all the winners to come up to the stage over here just for a quick photo, okay? And how about one more round of applause for our sponsors tonight? Without them, we wouldn't be having this night. Thank you. And be sure to check out Florida Today, where our finalists and winners will all be featured. The videos are online now. You can go online at floridatoday.com to look at photos and videos and all types of fun stuff. And drive home safely and have a great holiday season. And thank you so much for letting me host you again. And Michael Cador, you made it through the whole show. Woo! Thanks, everybody. All the winners, please come up to the stage. Thank you. Drive home safely, everybody.